Well, we are honored to have with us tonight Captain C.B. Sully Sullenberger. Most recently, he served as the U.S. ambassador to the International Civil Aviation Organization, a specialized agency of the United Nations. It is so good to see you. I'm so honored to have you here. I have to know, what was it like for you to reconnect, to meet with those first responders 15 years later? Oh,
it was like the best family reunion you could possibly have. I had not met those gentlemen before. We had seen them, at a fairly close distance as they bravely jumped out of the helicopters into the frigid Hudson River.
But that was it? You had never seen them again?
I had not seen them again.
Well, you also did a panel recently with some passengers. What was it like for you to hear them tell their stories about their experience?
It was very rewarding. It was also wonderful to fill in the gaps in what I witnessed personally, by hearing each of their stories. And of course, as you can imagine, depending upon where they were sitting in the airplane, they had different experiences. And so it was really fascinating to hear what they thought, what they felt, what they did, what they saw, and how they reacted, to the flight attendants' orders, the directions, so well, so that we could evacuate and make sure that ultimately everyone was saved.
You became an instant celebrity. How has your life changed over the last 15 years? You never could have predicted this.
Well, you said it. For me, my wife, my children, it changed our lives instantly, completely, and if not forever, for a very long time. We had to very quickly learn a new way of living this new life in the public eye.
And you like it?
It's been pluses and minuses. I mean, losing one's anonymity when you've lived the vast majority of your life anonymously is quite a shock. But at the same time, we get wonderful reminders that this is a good news story that really still resonates with people, and especially when they thank us for what we were able to accomplish that day.
Well, it's a good news story thanks to you.
And everybody else involved. It really took everyone involved, my crew, the passengers themselves, the rescuers, the first responders, all the responders from New York and New Jersey. It took so much cooperation. Everyone involved had to rise to the occasion and understand how serious this was and what they had to do and make it their mission to make sure that every life was saved.
Do you remember that feeling, right? You told my colleague Craig Melvin that you chose the least bad option.
Yes.
Do you remember making that decision?
Oh, absolutely, yes. And it didn't take terribly long, probably less than a minute ultimately. I knew intuitively, having flown into New York many times, there were only three options. Two runways that might be near us, but with the descending altitude and lessening airspeed, we did not have enough energy to glide as far as any runway. And the only other place in this area that was long enough, wide enough, smooth enough, even to attempt landing a large, heavy, fast jet airliner was the Hudson River.
Well, given your expertise and all these years flying, I do have a few other questions, new questions, problems in the sky. Obviously, everyone's been talking about it. The FAA is investigating Boeing after a door plug of an Alaska Airlines flight flew off mid-flight. Would you feel safe right now flying a Boeing 737 MAX 9? Would you get on that plane?
After they've been inspected, which they're going to be. They're not going to fly until they are inspected.
Why do you think that happened?
I think that aviation, like almost every modern endeavor, is a complex system. And we rely as individuals on probably tens of thousands of other people every day without knowing who they are or what function they have performed, but that we depend upon. And aviation is a perfect example of that. And so when these airplanes were designed, they met certain standards. And so one of the tasks of the National Transportation Safety Board is to do a forensic analysis of this particular aircraft, of this particular part, from its inception on the drawing board or the computer-aided design screen, through its fabrication, manufacture, installation on the aircraft, and any maintenance it may have received. And they will do this diligently, and they will find answers from which we will learn and improve safety going forward.
Well, as long as we're talking safety, last year it really feels like there was a lot of reporting about near misses at U.S. airports. What do you think is going on with this trend?
Those were real red flags. And fortunately, they were avoided literally at the last minute. It was the last layer of safety in almost every one of these instances that saved the day. And
that doesn't make me feel good. I don't like the last layer of safety.
It's not good. And that's why these were so startling. That's why they got the attention of the entire industry and the regulators. And that's why we're really reevaluating everything we're doing and looking for anything that we missed. I also want to say that it's important to remember, especially when it comes to some of the complaints about humans being sources of error, is that humans are by far the most adaptable and resilient part of any system, and technology can only do what it's been programmed to do.
Humans save the day. We know you did it.
They save every day.